Welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into a massive paradox in the workplace safety industry today. By the time we wrap up, we are going to fundamentally change how you measure risk. Ready? Let's get right into it.
If you glance at your company's green dashboards and those lovely downward trending injury charts, you'd probably think, wow, things have literally never been safer. And hey, it's totally natural to celebrate when you see those numbers dropping year after year. But we need to look a little closer and ask a really tough question. Have our injury rates actually gotten better where it matters most? This brilliantly illustrates the safety paradox. Notice how, over the last couple of decades, total recordable injury rates have absolutely plummeted. I mean, that's a huge achievement, but yet, the fatality rate, it's completely flatlined. We're driving down the overall number of incidents, but the rate of preventable deaths and serious injuries hasn't budged. So, what's driving this massive disconnect? To understand this, we have to look at the very foundation of traditional safety programs. For decades, safety professionals have leaned heavily on Heinrich's pyramid. You know the one. The core assumption here is that if you just reduce that broad base of minor incidents, your slips, your trips, your minor cuts, you will proportionally reduce the serious injuries and fatalities at the very top. Sounds completely logical, right? Actually, data from multiple corroborating studies completely busts this myth wide open. Take a look at state DART rates, which measure less severe injuries resulting in days away, restricted or transferred work, and map them against fatality rates. The results are honestly startling. If Heinrich's pyramid held true, we'd see a nice, neat downward trend. But instead, zero correlation. The data is just all over the place. A low incident rate simply doesn't guarantee a low fatality rate anymore. It's a totally different ballgame. So what's actually going on here? As this paper from the American Society of Civil Engineers definitively proves, the things that hurt people simply are not the same as the things that kill people. They have completely different proximal causes, meaning we absolutely cannot treat all risks as equal. I absolutely love this quote from Simon Kalkin because he really hits the nail on the head. He points out that disasters don't happen because someone drops a pipe on his foot or bumps his head. They result from flawed ways of doing business that allow risks to accumulate. So the crucial point here is that a compliance-first mindset, one that's just focused on minor injuries, creates a really dangerous false sense of security. It proves that in the safety world, good is truly the enemy of great. To fix this flatline in workplace fatalities, we have to pivot our focus to PSIFs, or potential serious injuries and fatalities. These are the incidents where, frankly, we just got lucky. Nobody got seriously hurt this time, but under slightly different circumstances, it could have been catastrophic. These are the hidden signals in the noise that are actually warning us of impending danger. But here's the kicker. According to new findings from the Campbell Institute, only about 20%, or honestly even less, of your lower severity incidents actually carry the potential for a serious injury or fatality. To put that into perspective, that means 80% of your everyday incident data is just noise. It has absolutely nothing to do with preventing a fatality. So what exactly makes up that dangerous 20%? Well, serious events are driven by a few very specific factors: high energy hazards, weak or completely missing critical controls, and complex high-risk tasks. These are fundamentally different from whatever caused a simple scraped knee. If you're just out there chasing a lower total incident rate, you are severely diluting your focus away from these massive critical vulnerabilities. The big problem, though, is that finding this dangerous 20% is incredibly difficult. I mean, it requires safety teams to analyze massive volumes of incident data and evaluate the severity of the hazard completely independent of the actual outcome. It's literally like looking for a needle in a haystack of near-miss reports, and you're often relying entirely on subjective human judgment to do it. To figure out how to spot those hidden risks, we can actually look to rigid engineering frameworks for inspiration, like functional safety, specifically the IEC 61511 standard. This framework is explicitly designed for high-risk process industries to develop and implement automatic safety systems against massive hazard exposures. It is incredibly rigorous, focusing heavily on safety requirement specifications and independent protection layers to manage high-risk events long before they ever happen. But how do we take that kind of rigorous, predictive mindset and actually apply it to daily workplace safety management? Even with great frameworks in place, safety professionals are still trapped in a reactive cycle. They're constantly forced to look backward because they just lack the tools to quickly process thousands of subjective near-miss reports and extract any meaningful risk patterns. And this is exactly where artificial intelligence completely changes the game. AI can read through your near-miss reports and automatically flag severe potential based on what could have happened. Let's walk through this step by step. Imagine a worker reports they were sprayed with a chemical, but hey, their PPE protected them. A busy manager might just log that as a minor near miss and move on. But the AI, it reads the description, spots that the chemical was 150-degree hydrochloric acid, and automatically flags it as a PSIF, because it actually understands the catastrophic potential if that PPE had failed.
Ultimately, AI fundamentally transforms your safety teams. It doesn't replace human expertise, it scales it. By inferring hazard severity from text, flagging events automatically, improving your root cause analysis, and even recommending highly specific corrective actions, AI does the heavy lifting in data analysis. It frees your team from that exhausting reactive cycle so they can focus purely on proactive prevention.
By leveraging AI to track these potentially severe events, we can finally shift our metrics. We've got to stop looking in the rearview mirror with lagging indicators like the OSHA recordable injury rate or standard compliance metrics. Those just tell you who already got hurt. Instead, we can start predicting the road ahead with leading indicators like PSIF tracking and critical controls verification.
And the best part? This aligns perfectly with OSHA's SMART principles for leading indicators. For a metric to be effective, it has to be specific, measurable, accountable, reasonable, and timely. Historically, tracking PSIFs manually just wasn't reasonable because it took way too much time and guesswork. But AI technology finally makes PSIF tracking a reasonable, highly measurable leading indicator that checks all of these smart boxes.
So what you should really take away from this explainer is a mandate to completely change how you measure safety in your organization. You have to stop asking, how many injuries did we have yesterday? And start asking, where is our serious risk exposure tomorrow, and are we actually controlling it? This is the vital shift from reactive compliance to proactive risk management. Now, as you evaluate your own metrics, ask yourself a really critical question. Is your safety dashboard just a historical record of who got hurt yesterday, or is it an intelligent map showing you what might happen tomorrow? It is time to break this ceiling on fatality prevention.